One terrible night changed everything. A 10-year-old boy's life would never be the same again. He woke up in a hospital bed, confused and afraid. Something was different. Something was gone. He looked at his left shoulder and understood. The arm he was born with was never coming back. Then one evening, something on television lit a fire inside him. A boy with one arm dared to dream. He found the dojo on his own and stood at the door trembling. This was either the bravest or the craziest thing he had ever done. The old master looked at the boy, missing arm and all, and saw something no one else could see. He simply nodded and said, "Come in." He stood on the tatami mat in his brand new white GI, heart pounding. His journey had officially begun. The master showed him one single throw, slow, precise, and perfect. Just one. That was all. He tried the move and ended up flat on his back, staring at the ceiling. But he got up. He always got up. Every session left him completely drained. But something deep inside him kept pulling him back to the mat. After 3 months of the same move, frustration finally broke through. "Shouldn't I be learning more?" he asked. The master looked him calmly in the eyes and said quietly, "This is the only move you know, but it is the only move you will ever need." Days turned to weeks. Weeks turned to months. The same move, over and over, until it lived in his bones. Then, one afternoon it happened. The throw was clean, precise, and powerful. Something had shifted inside him. The master watched from the shadows, alone, unseen. He allowed himself one quiet smile. "You are ready," said the master, pointing to the tournament poster. The boy's heart leapt with equal parts excitement and terror. The night before the tournament, he sat alone on his bedroom floor, rehearsing the throw in silence. His GI was already pressed and waiting. Walking into the tournament hall, he felt very small, but beside him walked the master, and that made all the difference. His first opponent glanced at the missing arm and smiled with confidence. He had already made his first mistake. In one clean, explosive motion, the one-armed boy sent his opponent flying through the air. The crowd fell silent in disbelief. He stood over his pinned opponent and looked down, wide-eyed and breathless. Had that really just happened? Across the gymnasium, the master watched and gave one slow nod. That single nod was worth more than 1,000 cheers. His second opponent was smarter and more technical. The real test was beginning. Impatience was his enemy's weapon, and the boy knew exactly how to use it against him. 2 matches. 2 wins. The unknown one-armed boy was starting to turn heads across the gymnasium. Between matches, the master leaned close and whispered 2 quiet sentences. The boy nodded and breathed. Ready. His third opponent was bigger, stronger, and older. Every reasonable person in that hall believed the boy was finished. The referee moved to end it, but the master stood and spoke one firm word. "Continue." Then came the moment. One careless reach toward the missing arm. One open guard. The boy's eyes snapped to attention. What happened next stunned every person in that gymnasium. The bigger boy was thrown as if he weighed nothing at all. The final opponent was the biggest, strongest, and most experienced. He looked at the one-armed boy and didn't even bother hiding his dismissal. For the first minutes of the final, the boy was pushed back hard. It looked like it was already over. Then, one reaching mistake. One open guard. One perfect pivot. The champion was thrown by a boy with one arm. The referee raised his right hand and the gymnasium erupted. A one-armed boy had just won the entire tournament. On a quiet bench afterward, gold medal around his neck, he finally asked the question burning inside him. "How did I win with only one move?" Master replied, "First, you've almost mastered one of the most difficult throws in all of judo. And second, the only known defense for that move is for your opponent to grab your left arm."